Stormgate from Frost Giant. They had a nice little vignette that they showed off at the show. I'm sure you also would have seen the vignette that they did for that. They're interviewing the folks working on the game, and then they showed off that little in-engine cinematic-y type deal, and went over some of their hopes and dreams for where they're going to take the direction of the game. For chiefly that it's going to be free to play, for example. But I will hand this over to you after having seen that, and I know there's some stuff that you've seen that you can't talk about probably yet, but for the stuff that you have seen and you can talk about, how are you feeling about Frost Giant's foray into the market?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty mid, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
So far.
I'm feeling the title of this podcast coming on to me right now, Mr. Black. I'm seeing a theme here.
I'm feeling pretty mid as of right now, but I'm feeling really good about the team. I mean, they're saying all the right things. It's just a matter of, can they follow through, and can they make what they say they're going to make, or what they're trying to make. I thought the cinematic was pretty lackluster.
That was an engine, just to keep in mind. That wasn't a CGI per se. Yeah. But yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, whatever. I really just wanted gameplay. I wanted to see sort of what the game was all about. We got an idea. There's obviously going to be at least 3 races, maybe 4. So yeah, I think we got like the demons or whatever they're called, and then the humans. Story seems pretty generic. I do like the aesthetics of it, of the game. I think it looks very like
Blizzard.
It looks very Blizzardy. Yeah.
The first thing came out of my mouth was, "That's Diva, that's Ghost, or the fucking like this, like Ghost Kerrigan or whatever the fuck," and then that's Diablo. Like I literally looked like I looked at 3 different Blizzard products in one.
Yeah.
In one trailer.
And I think we're going to get a lot of that in the game. There's going to be units that are going to basically be carbon copies right out of StarCraft. There's not really too much to really comment about right now, because
how do you feel about the free to play?
I think it's necessary. I think if it was a pay to play, now I don't know if it's going to be free for the campaign. I think it might end up. I could be wrong, but maybe you have to pay for the campaign and it's free to play for the multiplayer. I don't know. I don't know for sure. But free to play is necessary if you want a large player base. I mean, when StarCraft went free to play, there was a lot more people that started playing the game, which was good and healthy for the game.
I think it's also just necessary for the genre at this point.
I think
RTS
so too.
is not hunted after.
Yeah.
So I think if you have a shot in hell at all, I think you just have to do it, right?
Yeah, I agree. I hope they're not trying to do too much at once, because they've talked about obviously a one-on-one competitive ranked 2v2, 3v3 like custom stuff. And I just hope that they're not spreading themselves too thin, trying to appease too many people. I know it's a rough juggling act, and they already have everything going against them. But it is the team. I just keep coming back to the team, and they've got everybody that you would ever want making an RTS working on this game. So they have a very competent team. They've got a decent amount of money to make the game. We're getting a playable beta next year. They're listening to the community. Hopefully they don't listen to the community too much, because let's not forget that these guys are the godfathers of RTS. And, of course, you want to listen to the community and take feedback, but don't let them control every aspect of your decision-making. I'm very, very confident that we could probably get some of the team on the podcast in the near future. And we can ask them hard questions and pick their brain about the game, which probably will be a good thing to do once we hear a little bit more, and we see a little bit more. I'm excited as I'm an RTS guy, so I'm excited. I'm excited for the chance to sink my teeth into an RTS and grind it up. I'm excited on a content stand front as well, in a genre that I know and that I love. So as a creator, it's exciting. As a player, it's exciting. But I also know that this is the last chance for RTS on a massive scale like StarCraft. There's always going to be some sort of variation of RTS out there that it's going to appease to small niches, but this is the team that's going to give us the fighting chance to have RTS become a household thing again. So I'll be sad if it doesn't work out, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't either. I'm hoping for the best. I'm rooting it on. I'm going to do my best to promote it, to play it, to show it, to get enthusiastic about it. But as of right now, there's just not much to, if they came and they showed some gameplay, and they showed the UI, and they showed some of the units and how things are moving and the maps and, just something. But instead we just got like a still image and a CGI or in-game ran CGI trailer that was pretty fucking mid. Sound design was kind of lackluster. Characters seemed kind of meh. I want it more, man. I want it more. But
yeah,
I know we're gonna get more. So
I feel like they're in a tough spot between needing to show some of this off to maybe, I don't know if they're hoping to get more rounds of funding. So I
listened to an interview earlier today, and they talked about that. As of right now, I think they had almost 35 million in funding.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying that they think that is going to be suffice. They're not actively looking for more money, but they may do another round later on in development. But right now, they have enough on their plate that they're good to go. They didn't want to show off any gameplay yet. They just wanted to announce themselves, get themselves on Steam, get a little bit of buzz and some hype going. And then obviously they're going to show more in the nearish future. I would imagine probably in the next, I would say 3 to 6 months, we're probably going to get some kind of not demo, but like a real look at the game.
Yeah, I share the same general opinions of it that you did. It was okay. It was, for me, it was a little below mid, to be honest. I think if I wasn't a fan of their previous work and I was looking at this with fresh eyes, even as an let's say I was a general RTS fan, speaking, but I wasn't like, let's say, a diehard Blizzard RTS fan. I think I look at what they showed and I go, all right, this is probably not the time to show any of this.
Yeah.
The sound design was really bad, really, really bad. The voicing was bad. The choosing to not go CGI obviously is way less expensive and allows them to use their engine and whatnot. But I got nothing out of it, really. All it did was show me that I felt like I was literally looking at every major Blizzard property of the last 20 years crammed into a single trailer in various forms. Quite literally Diva, quite literally Nova, quite literally Diablo, all on screen at the same time. And then to not have any gameplay at all is I understand why.
Yeah.
I get it, but I feel like that's why I asked the question out loud. I wonder if, so I do find it interesting they're saying they're not seeking more money actively, because if that's the case, I wouldn't have even shown up. I show this much stuff and have a vignette and talk about it to get the people on camera that are like the legends, because I need more money. The general public is maybe not going to take this as good, but it will be useful for us to pitch this to get more money. Because I didn't think it looked particularly promising. I do think, like I said before, and we both agree, that free to play is a necessity for RTS now. I don't think you get a choice. That's not like they sat down and go, oh, it'd be cool if we did it free to play. No, that choice was made for them at this point. So it's good that they're at least accepting reality and moving in that direction. I agree with you, though, as well, as that there's a good chance that like campaign stuff is likely to be paid for, but the multiplayer would be free to play. Yep. That's the way to do it. That is smart. I think that makes sense, and people will be okay with that. I don't think people necessarily expect the campaign to be free, but the multiplayer to be. I did chuckle that they managed to, in their vignette, dedicate an entire like frame or 3 to having no NFTs. On the video. I kind of chuckled about that. It was like, man, this is where we're at now. We have to promise that there's no NFTs. So yeah, and then obviously they're gonna make money from aesthetic stuff and whatever, selling skins and other, which they started doing in StarCraft in later years and whatnot. But yeah, again, like you, need to see more. I need actual gameplay to really give a better idea. But also, like you, it's the people behind it that give me hope, and not what I just saw. And yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing more. But what I saw there, I probably could have gone without seeing. I probably could have just. I would have been just as happy if I didn't see anything for another 6 months. Yeah. And then the first thing they show me includes gameplay. Now, like I think I would have been just as happy with that, but they're in a crazy situation. They've split off from the big boys. They're a bunch of veterans doing their thing. They're doing arguably the hardest genre that you could choose to do in terms of like making money off of it. Short of a point and click fucking adventure game, RTS is probably the hardest one that you could choose, especially given the current climate in the industry. And doing it as a small studio all at the same time is very difficult. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. But for now, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah,
that's how I felt. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still optimistic. I'm still excited. I'm rooting, and yeah, it was pretty. It's pretty meh.
Meh.